Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and this is the handover on the Adria Compact Supreme. So to open the locks, you've got to have a key for the engine, which opens the cab, and then you've got a key for everything else on the back of the motorhome. So locks, doors, catches, all with this key. So to open the door, you go to the right to lock and to the left to open. And then coming further back, you've got your lockable freshwater cap. So again, this key will open that. Get a hose pipe, fill it until it overflows, or until you're happy there's enough water on board, which you can see on the main control panel. Should you not be able to get a hose pipe to the vehicle, but you can bring a bucket or an aqua roll to the vehicle, what you can do is you can put one end of the pump in there, and then above you get your power supply from here. And what you can do is put the pump in, that'll give a 12 volt feed to the pump, and it'll suck the water from the aqua roll, bucket or container into the freshwater tank. And then at the back you've got your garage. So in here you've got your toolkit for the cab, tethering points should you be tying anything down, an infill cushion for the bed, carb mat, habitation carpets and your awning. Winder, you've got your pump here, but should you have taken on contaminated water or you want to drain the fresh water, if you just lift this grey lever, it'll start draining the fresh water out underneath the vehicle. So that's if you've taken on any contaminated water or you're winterizing, you would allow all the water out of the vehicle, as you wouldn't want it to freeze in the winter months when you're not using it. 3-pin plug, 12 volt and USBs for charging. Then coming around the back, your high level brake light and reverse camera. Place to put a bike rack, and then on the bottom you've got your parking sensors. This side you'll notice that you've got your wastewater. So this is your wastewater drain off. So this is anything you've put down a plug hole. Again, you'll want to drain that off in the winter, but normally when you leave site, what you do is you'd pull over the motorhome service bay and deposit your grey waste. There's no handle on it. What you've got to do is you've got to open the door. You see there's a red key there. That key is used to go on here, and then you turn it to the on position, and you'll see that it's draining water off there. So pull it up to 12 o'clock to empty, and then that just lives in there like so. In the next locker you've got your gas bottles. So this is your LPG locker, so you can fit 2 6-kilogram bottles in there. And then what you'll need to do is get a spanner. It's a left hand thread, tighten as hard as you can with your hands, and then get a spanner and nip up, turn on and off at the top of the bottle. Then always make sure this yellow prong is pushed in on the regulator, as that's the crash valve, and always make sure the bottles are strapped in. Moving further down, you've got your cassette locker. So ensure the blade's closed on the bottom bowl of the toilet, and then you'll be able to lift the green handle, slide it out, and drag it round to your waste disposal point, which is normally behind or beside the toilet block. Remove the cap, press the green button, tip out. Once you've tipped out, if you put some water in, give it a rinse. And then what you can do is you can use put your chemical in via here if you're using the liquid, or if you're using the tablets, you'd slide the blade forward. You just put your water in there, sorry, if you're using the tablets, because you can't open this from the outside. So water in, pint of water, and then you'd push it back into the vehicle, and you'd open the blade on the vehicle to put your tablet into the cassette. As you can't open it from the top of the cassette like a Thetford one, you've got to do it via the blade on that. And then that would just push in with the key, so to lock it, you'd use the blade, full turn, push in, and that'll lock it there. You've got your vent for your truma, And then you've got your mains connectivity point. So lift the collar up, slide on, always hook the vehicle up, then the power source, and obviously do it in reverse when unhooking, as we wouldn't want you walking around with a live lead. And then here you've got your diesel filler, which opens with the main ignition key, and because it's a new diesel engine, it's got the AdBlue, it's a 19 litre tank. When the light comes on, which is between the temperature and fuel gauge on the dashboard, simply top up, otherwise you will go into limp mode if you allow it to go solo, and if you allow it to go completely drive AdBlue, you'll have to call fade out to get the vehicle restarted via a computer. Here you have the tyre pressure, so 5.5 bar, which is 79.5 psi. And you'll notice there's a battery isolation switch here for the leisure battery, so it's on at the moment. If you wanted to turn it off in the winter, you'd simply turn it down, but make sure if you're struggling to get 12 volt, just check here that this switch is on when you're leaving the vehicle standing at the storage or on the driveway. And underneath here you've got your main engine battery. Bonnet release just here, so if we have a quick look underneath the bonnet, so to the left you've got all your fluids. So you've got your screen wash, which is here. This lifts off and fills your power steering and coolant. You've got your brake fluid, engine oil and dipstick, paint code, earth for putting jump leads in, so you'd earth off there, put the key in here, lift up, and there is your positive. And then you've got your weight plate, so 3.5 tonne. Anyone can drive this on a standard car license. If you were to put a tow bar on, you can tow up to 5.5 tonne train weights. That's the motorhome and whatever you're towing behind. Above the habitation door you have your control panel. So first of all, if you're hooked up, you'll get this little sign here which looks like a hookup lead. If not, you will be using 12 volt off your leisure battery, and you can turn on and off here. So just press and hold, turn the vehicle on and off. You've got your awning light, which is this one here, and your interior lights. Aux is that filler for the wheel pump near the fresh. And then you've got your pump, so should you want to use any water inside the vehicle's taps, toilet, shower, you must put this on to pressurize the system. You've got B1, which is the car battery, showing 13.2 volts. B2, which looks like a trailer, which is the leisure battery, which is 13.7 volts. You've got this little A, which is the ampage currently being used, which is 11.1 amp currently being drawn off the leisure battery. And below, 50% of fresh water, 0% waste because I opened it, and the internal temperature and outside temperature, so showing 36 inside and 20 out. Across from it you've got your Truma control panel, so press and hold will turn it on, and then you'll get this screen. You just press enter. So you've got a motorhome with a thermometer in. This is the temperature of the vehicle, so you can have it all the way to 30 or all the way to off, depending if you want heating or not. And then you'd simply press enter to save. And then next you've got water, so should you have enough water in the boiler and on board, you can have the hot water on. So you have off, eco, which is 40 degrees, hot, which is 60, and boost, which will turn off the heating and it'll prioritize the water first. So for this we'll just say hot, so 60 degrees of heating your water. And then moving further along you've got your energy source, so you've got gas on its own if you're wild camping, mixture of 1 kilowatt of electric and gas, mixture of 2 kilowatts of electric and gas, which you'd use more in the winter if you're in desperate need of heating the vehicle or the water, as both sources will reduce the time it takes to heat the vehicle or water. Electric on 1 kilowatt or electric on 2. Electric on 1 you'd use on smaller CL sites, and electric on 2 you'd use on most sites throughout the UK, depending on what current they give you. You'd only need to change down to electric on 1 should you be boiling a kettle or using an appliance that takes a big voltage and it's tripping the vehicle out with the heating on. So for this we'll just say mix 2. And then moving along you've got fans. We've got eco, which is just a 12 volt assisted fan. And then you've got high. So eco you'd use on a night high you'd use during the day. High will take a little bit more of 12 volt than eco. And then coming down to the bottom, you can set a timer once to bring on the heating and finish the heating. Time on the main display panel, and should you get a warning triangle, you can go to the spanner setting, which is in the bottom right, go to reset, press on reset, it'll come up preset, click again and it will reset the control panel. And then to turn off, you just press and hold. To lock the door, you just push this catch down, and then as soon as you go for the door handle, it will release, and you've got a fly screen, blackout blind, got dimmer switches here, so you just press and hold, so you can brighten and dim these lights. And then in the kitchen, we've got 3 gas rings. Allow it to cool before you put the top down, and then below you've got grill, and then under that you've got an oven. Got drawers for storage throughout, and then if you just push the overhead lockers, they'll open, and you've got shelving in here, storage in here. Underneath the sink, that's just your chopping board, your cover. You've got your gas isolation taps. Any problems with gas, turn the bottle off to be safe. These are mainly for our habitation service technicians when they check the vehicle. Just showing your water pump working. Your water's lovely and warm there. Wardrobe, hanging space. Above you've got your fridge, which is 12 volt compression fridge. You turn on and off here, and then should you want to change the temperature, you just press and hold which bar you want it to go to. So when it starts flashing there, it's gone to 3, it's gone to 5, and you can scroll up and down on the temperature. And then you've got the little moon there, which is the nighttime mode, which just turns the decibels of the fridge down so it's not as loud. When you come in to put the van to bed for the year, as you're not going to use it anymore, as part of your winterization process where you do the water, also do the fridge. So take anything out, give it a wipe out, slide this in the middle, this little blue toggle. What it does is it stops the door from shutting, and it allows air circulation in and out. So just allow the door to clip in there and have circulation, otherwise you'll get mouldy fridge when you come to reuse it. In here you've got your bathroom, so you've got a toilet and shower combined. So it's a Dometic button on the back for the flush, so ensuring that the pump's on, you'll be able to push the button and get the flush, which is an electric flush. So we do always flush first, then slide this forward, which will open the blade. So like I was saying from outside, if you're using the tablets, pint of water, tablet down there, shut the blade, and then to use it, flush first, lubricates the blade, slide it forward, use the toilet, flush, which there you go, so flush it, and then slide that back in after use. You'll get half and full, so you'll get a warning that it's half full and then full to change on the light there. Push plug on the sink. You've got your lights here, and then this sink unit, if you just pull from the top, it's on a strong magnet, clips in like that. You've got your shower, so it stops the toilet and sink getting wet. You can then have a shower, got a light there, And then when winter rising, if you just unscrew this off the hose, allow the hose to lie in the shower tray and open all the mixer taps, because water could freeze in here and split this pipe, and that's not something you want. Then you've got a hanging rail for wet coats and towels if you've been caught in the rain, and a little skylight, so push this in, slide it upward into the groove should you want a nice bit of ventilation, but always make sure that the bar is above the button, and you've got a fly screen on there. Coming into the back of the vehicle, so you've got your fixed island bed with storage underneath, so they just shut like so, and you've got a drawer. And then you just grab the base of the bed, pull it out into a flat surface to sleep on, and then what you do is you push it up on the runners into the day position, which gives you more space around the bed. You've got storage in here, your wardrobes on both sides, so you've got wardrobes on both sides. This skylight, you use this here, so when you've got the red line there, it means that the skylight should properly find it. If you will open it and close it, that's latched on there. And then you do have fly screen and blackout blind. All these little lights are individually switched, so you've got night light which just illuminates a button, and then you've got the main light and a USB on the sides. Storage in the top, which are on gas struts. And then in this side, this customer has added an aerial, so this is an extra, it doesn't come with the vehicle. And what you need to do is, got a booster there, so you can turn that on, you can leave it on, you don't need to turn it on and off. It goes off with the main control panel at 12 volt. Green means it's found a signal, and you've got a booster on there so you can min and max with the amplifier. Should it be red or orange, you'd need to just loosen this nut off, push the stem up, and then use the little toggle on the bottom to direct the aerial. But best thing is to look where other motorhomes and caravans are pointing on your site, and tighten up and pull the stem in when in transit. So underneath the bed, you've got another freshwater drain. So this is your main drain. The one at the back is just to drain the lines of the fresh water. This is the actual tank. So underneath the bed, you've got a nut there so you can access the tank. And then here it shows you, so using this, you can go half a way to drop all the water, but bar 20 litres, or you can go all the way to drop nothing. So it's 100 litre, 140 litre, turn halfway, it'll drop everything but 20 litres, turn a full way and it will drain everything. So in the winter, you just open this to 0 and drain everything. If you did want to travel with just 20 litres and you had a full tank, you would just turn to 20 litres, and that'll make you lighter, so you can have more payload and you can be better on diesel consumption. Underneath the dining seat in the front is where you'll find all your fuses for 12 volt, so it would be a good idea to carry some spares, and your trips. And then this is your winter boiler drain. So it's an anti-frost control, so it should drop the water automatically at 3 degrees. But don't rely on it, because if this ever comes faulty, you don't want to rely on this, and then it'll cost you to replace the boiler. So what you need to do is turn the diamond is from the carb to the back of the vehicle. Turn it so it's across the vehicle, the button will pop out and it'll drain all 10 litres of water in the boiler. Pushing the button back in and turning the diamond to front to back will shut it. Leave it open during the time you've got it in storage or standing in the winter, so the 10 litres of water doesn't freeze. Open all the taps, obviously open the waste, open the fresh, the 2 points on the fresh, one under the bed, one in the garage, and then it eliminates any water freezing in the pipes tanks and boiler of the vehicle. When you come to reuse it, shut this, shut the fresh 2 points, shut the waste, fill with water, come in, put the pump on, go to the cold side of the tap first, you'll get automatic cold water. Go to the hot side, it will cough, splutter, make all sorts of noises because it's filling the boiler of 10 litres, pushing that 10 litres there out through the tap until you get a steady flow on one tap. Try them all, then the system is primed for the season. The skylight above the back island bed is a windy one, so you get your winder, you wind it open and you wind to close. When it is closed, you get the indication of the red little line in there, and then what you can do is you've got your blackout blinds and your fly screen on the skylight, and then this light switch here on the right hand side of the bed turns the lights on and off. But also does them at the front of the van, so it's kind of like the last light you would turn off when you get into bed and you're ready to go to sleep. Click that, it'll black the front of the van out and the back. So to operate your Vision Plus TV, which again this is an option that the customer has asked us to fit, they don't come standard with these. So it's a 12 volt, so it's plugged into the 12 volt and you've got a TV aerial behind. You can pull this out here so you can loosen the lever and then slide. So loosen here, pull it out, and then you can turn it into the front or into the bedroom where it's located. But always make sure it's locked in before you travel so it doesn't slide out. And then each time you arrive on site you will have to retune this TV. So to do so you would go to menu, and it'll say channel. Just go down to Autotune, select that you're in the UK, which is in the bottom right hand corner, and it'll start and find as many channels as it can in your area or wherever you're parked up on your campsite. So to make the occasional third berth in this vehicle, what you need to do is you need to lift the table to 90 degrees. But at the same time, if you press the button on the leg here, you fold the leg in half, lift it off and put it on here, so just rest it on the bottom plinth, like so. You'll want to turn the seat, to turn cab seats. You use the lever in the middle of the seat there, turn it round. If the seat was to get stuck, just readjust your driving position, put your base cushion for the travelling seat back in place, and then use the infill cushion, which is the bigger cushion, to slot in on top of the table, and there you have a third occasional berth should you need it. So now in the cab, to the right of the driver you have your handbrake, and then on the doors you've got your electric driver and passenger electric windows, and you've got your adjustment for both mirrors. So you've got two adjustments on both sides, top and blind spot, which you adjust through here by choosing your mirror. And then if you slide this back, expose the magnet, up it goes, and it just clips onto the side of the door there on the metal side, and that's the same for the passenger side. And if you pinch with your finger and your thumb, slide them out, that's how you would black the windscreen out. And then down to the right of the driver on the dashboard, you've got your headlight adjustments, your front and rear fog lights, eco, so if you want to put eco on, and this turns off your stop start should you want to deactivate it. Trip computer on the end of the wiper stalk, which will go through your range, your instant average consumption, your travelling times, your distance travelled, trip A and trip B. got all your steering wheel controls, and then you've got your lights and your indicators. On the bottom you've got off, cruise control at the top, get your desired speed, push up to speed up, pull down to slow down. And at the bottom you've got speed limiter, so if you go up slowly it goes up in 1s, if you push and hold it goes up in 5s, but then you still do have the kick down function with the speed limiter, so this will limit you. But if you put your accelerator flat to the floor, it will overrule the speed limiter to avoid any situation. With the cruise control you can cancel with the brake, or you can cancel on the end here and then resume to the last speed set before the engine was turned off on this side, should you have to stop the cruise control because somebody's cut in front of you. 6-speed manual gearbox with lifter collar into reverse, brings on the reverse camera. You've got traction control, hill descent control, pretty much useless on a manual, it's more for an auto. Hazards, locks the doors on an evening, heated mirrors, USB for charging, 12 volt for charging. Got your glove box there, a heated and cooled glove box on the top through the air conditioning, which I'll get onto in a second. So the air conditioning, you've got the temperature on the outside ring, must be on at least fan speed 1 or more, which is on the inside ring for the aircon to work, which is this one here. And then you've got on the outside ring on this side, you've got your distribution, so where you wanted to go to, face, feet or screen, and whether you're recirculating air this side or bringing fresh air in on this side. This is the new Fiat head unit. So it takes Apple CarPlay, so you just connect your phone via USB if you're using an Apple iPhone, and it'll imitate the screen onto here. You've got your radio, which is FM, AM and DAB. And then all you'd need to do is scan for your channels by pressing browse all stations. This is all your DAB stations there. And then you press 1 to 3, or you can keep scrolling along and you can save up to 6 of your favourite channels. But then if you're struggling to get DAB, you can switch back over to FM. Going back to the home, you've got phone. And then you want to connect your phone via Bluetooth by pressing in the bottom right hand corner and then the plus sign. You want to find Fiat 6722 on your device. Make sure it comes up with that. Press pair on here. Then it'll ask you if you want to allow your contacts to be saved. Just press allow and it will sync all your phone book into here, so you can scroll through your contacts and ring who you want through the head unit. Media is either USB or Bluetooth audio. If you've connected through Bluetooth, you can stream your music wirelessly through the Bluetooth. Screen off, you can turn your screen off if you want your radio on, but you don't want the glare when you're on a site. Touch it and it'll come back on. Navigation at the bottom. So to put a destination in, this is just a map showing you where we are now. Press the 3 lines in the bottom right hand corner, new route, address, and you want to pop your town or your postcode in here. In the middle one, it'll say go to town and set as its destination. It'll give you an ETA and a rundown of obviously how long it takes, how many miles it takes, and so on. You can go to Ducato, so if you go here, Ducato, you can put your length, height and width in, and whether you're going to be towing a trailer or not, and your actual weight. So that's 4.25 in there, and it will accommodate to this vehicle. Settings, you can go in settings and you can change your sound, your bass and so on in there. But this is all explained in the Fiat handbooks. I'll keep it simple. So you've got radio, FM, AM, DAB, phone, which is where you connect your Bluetooth, media, which is either USB input or Bluetooth audio, screen off, which turns the screen off, and your sat nav, which you'd go at the bottom 3 lines and press new route, address, and pop your postcode in the middle bar.